Authorities press Boeing on their systemic change strategy. Government inspections and production restrictions will not end for Boeing, as authorities believe that systemic change is required to restore public trust in the aircraft manufacturer's safety. On Thursday, the aerospace behemoth sent authorities a proposal meant to raise the caliber of its aircraft. Following the discussion, the Federal Aviation Administration's FAA director announced that the organization would keep holding weekly meetings with top officials to oversee its execution. FAA Administrator Mike Whitaker stated, "That's really the hard part," but he was unable to provide an estimated timeline for the potential lifting of the present cap on plane production. He declared, "I don't think it will happen in the next few months." Since an unusable door fell from a brand new 737 MAX aircraft during an Alaska Airlines flight in January, leaving a large hole in the side of the aircraft, Boeing has been in the news. However, there have long been worries about Boeing's views regarding the circumstances of quality control and safety in its factories. 5 years ago, the business was heavily criticized following the loss of two 737 MAX aircraft in nearly identical incidents that claimed 346 lives. Boeing's departing CEO, Dave Calhoun, stated that the corporation was committed to seeing the plan through to completion and that several of its components were already underway. They stated that the business will carry on operating under FAA supervision. The event in January, which investigators attributed to misplaced bolts, cast further question on the company's manufacturing strategy and organizational culture. Laws. In addition to the potential of criminal punishment, Boeing is already dealing with a plethora of lawsuits for breaching the terms of a settlement agreed following the deadly jet disasters in 2018 and 2019. Following the disaster, the FAA increased its level of oversight and placed a production cap on the firm. Boeing was given a 90-day deadline to create a comprehensive plan that would allay regulators' fears. On Thursday, during a 3-hour meeting, those steps were presented. The proposal expands on several of the steps Boeing had already disclosed, including a major slowdown in production and increased employee training. In addition, the company announced that it was streamlining its processes, investing in new tools and equipment, reintroducing daily compliance inspections, and encouraging management to spend more time on the manufacturing floor. However, Scott Hamilton, managing director of aviation consulting firm Leham Company, claimed to have a sense of déjà vu after seeing Boeing's proposal. Boeing announced a slew of safety innovations or safety measures following the 2018-19 737 MAX incidents that claimed 346 lives, and here we are 5 years later, still undertaking more safety initiatives. It begs the question, what became of those announced 5 years ago in terms of success, outcome, or disregard? Mr. Hamilton stated that since Mr. Calhoun took over as CEO in January 2020, shortly after some of these initiatives were announced, he has the responsibility for whether or not the initial set of actions are implemented. As Mr. Calhoun leaves his position as CEO of Boeing at the end of the year, he will get a compensation package valued at $33 million, $26 million. He will continue to serve on the board. The FAA, however, has some answers to provide because they too were involved in trying to make sure that Boeing became safer after the first MAX crisis, Mr. Hamilton continued. According to Mr. Whitaker, the FAA will continue to closely monitor the business to make sure the objectives are fulfilled. Systemic change isn't easy, but it's absolutely necessary in this situation, he stated. He went on, "This sets a new standard of how Boeing does business, but it does not mark the end of our increased oversight of Boeing and its suppliers.